From New Orleans, Louisiana, and the campus of UNO, we have head coach Ashley Preston and Irene Kitson. Coach, first, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, excited. We play a scrimmage, an exhibition match against Xavier tomorrow. So just excited to see my team play against another team. Because last Saturday we had a Navy and Royal scrimmage, and so that went well. And just having fun with 12 new players, 20 players in general, and then two new members of my coaching staff as well.
And Irene, how was that scrimmage for you? Felt good to be back on the court all of a sudden?
It was so incredible. We have a great sense of competition in our team this year, and we're all so excited for the season and, to get a ring at the end of it. So we're looking forward to the season.
I love that. I love that. You've got to set those goals high, 100%. That's brilliant. And coach, you've referenced a few things in your intro that I want to touch on, and we're definitely going to come to those new additions on your coaching staff later on. But you're going into your third season here at UNO, following a 2022 campaign with the fifth biggest win turnaround in the nation. That speaks a lot to what you've done with this program already in just a short time at the helm. So as you look at the state of play for your team heading into 2023, how do you view this squad, and where is the sky the limit for this team?
We'll see. Like, I'm an optimist about the season. I think I put together a pretty good schedule that showcases competition and make sure that we get just really see what non-conference is about, seeing where you are and how you gauge and stuff like that. I'm kind of just a crazy person in general of taking positions where it's like, okay, let me build a foundation off of recruiting and scheduling. So like I said, 12 new players means just a whole bunch of different personalities and bodies. And so every year I treat it as a new year. I really don't think okay, so since we did this in 2022, we'll do this in 23. It really comes down to how fast we can get everyone connected and a part of our culture so that we can win. And so I'm excited, especially about preseason. We open up at Georgia State, and that'll be great competition because they're kind of in the same boat as us, as rebuilding and new and fresh teams. So it's kind of like an asterisk, but I'm a hopeless romantic, but also a hopeless, a hopeful winner too. So I'm excited to see where it comes, how it all pans out. Yeah.
Well, certainly you're also a winner in reality with the experience that you've had from last year, and the best home start in program history, a 9-0 start to kick things off. What is it about the home crowd, your fans, that arena there in New Orleans that is able to give you that foundation on which to build upon?
What's so funny is before last year, my team did not like playing at home. So, and I remember asking them that when I first got here, and they're like, because people know us. I don't like playing at home when people know us. So it's so funny because I think we were just, and Irene can talk about this too. I didn't even know about the record. I didn't even know about it until it got closer, I was like, they're just playing great volleyball, and it's fun because Thursdays usually, especially in the beginning of the year, we have a lot of student athletes come to the games, and our media team does a great job and is going to do a great job as it relates to just having a student section, and just we are us, and then cross country are the two sports that are in season. So we are the prime time of the fall. And so it's super fun to see like Irene's peers and stuff like that come to the matches. And then you always see our tall, illustrious leader at every single match too. So that helps. That also helps with the campus community coming, because Tim does a great job of involving everyone on campus to come and watch our matches and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, the real Tim Duncan does a great job as a leader.
Yes, that handle, right?
100%. Irene, as coach just touched on, you are the only game in town basically during the full semester. And that's both, I guess, a privilege and a responsibility in terms of carrying the flag for the school at UNO. But what's it like to have that support the coach mentioned from your peers, from other people on campus? And what's the excitement level like heading into your first homestand coming shortly?
It really is like nothing I've felt before, in a sense of like community and UNO, like within the athletes and the students just coming out and supporting us, including like teaching staff. A lot of my professors, I'll like look up, I'm like, what are you doing here? And it's just super awesome to feel that like community at UNO. And yeah, I mean, being one of the only ones in season, we do carry our flag, and I'm really excited about this upcoming season because we were awesome last year, but we are really awesome this year. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun on the court, and I also think it's going to be a lot of fun for the people in the stands watching as well.
Well, trust me when I say we're very excited to watch you play. And speaking of watching you play, I always think it's interesting to get your take on how you're going to play, right? Coach has ideas, sets out the tactics, but from a player's side, how would you describe the style of play that coach wants, and how your fans can expect to see you guys on the court this year?
Oh, this is a good one. I think we're strategic in what we do. We're very big on
you can say it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so awkward. Okay. I think we're super strategic. We do a really good job of scouting out who we're gonna play competition, and we go into every single game extremely prepared, thanks to our coaching staff who helps us with our scouting reports. And each game in itself is just so much fun. I don't know. It's a different experience. Every game against a different team is a different experience. And yeah, each better than the last.
Coach, I promise I'm not trying to get her to give all your secrets away. But on the coaching side of things, as you alluded to earlier, you've added 2 new members to your staff, obviously Tamia Dockery and Maury Carver. Maury, who you're obviously familiar with from her time in New Orleans. But explain to me what they both bring to the program as your assistant coaches.
Yeah, so it's I was a libero in college, and I actually played in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference like Tamia. Now I'm not as successful as Tamia. So Tamia's like she's also one of the top 50 players in MEAC history as well, and won 4 MEAC championships every single year she won. So she is I like to have our staff resemble the needs of the team. So for instance, I work on liberos and serve receive passing. Tamia handles the setters because quarterbacks have quarterback coaches. Setters need a setters coach, and I'm very big about that. I'm also very big about just that connection that they have, so they have someone to go to. And then Mari was a middle blocker, and so that helps as well because she's able to train and teach that front line of defense. And so I love when my staff is shaped this way because we really are touching on every single skill. So it's exciting. And then also they tie into my purpose. I love helping women be the heroes of their own story. And both of them have taken an interest in coaching young. And so I really want to foster that coaching love and show them that they can and are able and deserving to coach. And really it comes down to just confidence, of giving young women the confidence that my players, but also the coaching staff, that they know that they're capable to do this job. So I love my staff. They are young, and it's so funny that I say young because now I'm 37, so I'm like an old head. And so just to have them be younger than me, but really fostering that relationship is great. And then my young women are so amazing with them. They give them that respect, and also they value their input based on their accolades that they have as well.
Well, that's all a credit to you, and very exciting for us to hear the infusion of new youthful faces in our league as assistant coaches. A couple of things I wanted to touch on in terms of your atmosphere and the way you build your team. So we know that you don't have captains on your team per se. You have cultural ambassadors instead, which is fascinating as a concept and sounds something that's very, very positive. So I'd just like to get your take on, I guess, where that started from, and what that means to you in terms of appointing someone a cultural ambassador within your squad.
Yeah, it's been evolving since my days at Fullerton. So I changed from, it felt like to me, and I remember being a player and doing this as well. So a lot of stuff comes from like when I became a junior or a senior, I'm like, oh no, I'm in charge. And that's what I realized, that captains, that C word, then people are thinking I'm the boss. And it's like, no, you need to lead with kindness. You need to also enforce the culture. So it gravitated into being team leaders. And then now it's culture ambassadors. And what that means is they have to remember why they're leading, and they're leading to embrace the culture and reinforce the culture. So we have a culture ambassador for the locker room, for the weight room, and then also for travel. The travel comes down to, because I don't care what jersey you're wearing, so someone is handling that. And then also like our food restrictions, so that person can say yes or no, you can eat those fries before a game, you know? So having those players and just changing the words makes them think about it in a different way. And so then we can hold each other accountable to the places that the coaches aren't able to be in, the spaces, right? Because that's where culture really is either flourishes or fails. And so that's why it's evolved. And we also have weekly meetings with those culture ambassadors. Irene was also nominated for one. So we're deciding today. We go through basically the players nominate, we interview, and then the coaching staff comes together and decides who's the best candidates for it. So,
well, I didn't mean to bring this up on such a pivotal day with choosing the cultural ambassadors, but that's exciting to hear. And Irene, fingers crossed for you that that's an honor you're selected for. Something I wanted to ask you, Irene, was another thing that I was being told about was your P chain, inspired by the turnover chain. But can you let us know what that is, what that means, and explain the kind of the science behind that?
Okay, yeah. So the P chain for the gain, each Monday, we all vote as a team and we write it down, we put it in a jar, and we choose the player that we believe best showed our culture on the court, was really giving their all every practice, showing up in the weight room, showing up for each other, maybe in like if someone needs help in a class or outside anywhere. And it's someone who's just showing up and being there for their team and also executing, doing what they have to do in the classroom and on the court. And so every week we vote on someone. And last week it was our freshman Ola, who is so sweet. And I was really excited that she got it for the first time. I voted for her, you know. But yeah, it's super awesome. I love it. It's just another sense of camaraderie and like, you know, another reason for doing what we do.
That's awesome. That's brilliant. I'll be excited to be following along and see the P chain winners each week. I'm sure they'll be on your social medias as we go through this season. Just a couple other things I wanted to touch on with you, Irene, before I let you go. Obviously, you're a long way from home. Originally from New York, now in New Orleans. That's a significant distance across this massive country. Did you have any culture shock arriving in New Orleans? And are you full-blooded Cajun at this point?
I totally had culture shock just in the fact that Southern hospitality is a very real thing. You go in Manhattan and someone's passing you on the street, your eyes are down. You are not looking at anyone. Like someone hits you, you are just, you know, they brush into you. It's stay away, stay away. But down here, people are smiling. They're saying hi. I'm like, whoa, what do you want? What do you want? Yeah, it's definitely super different. The food, so different as well. A lot of things are fried, but they also have a lot of seafood. Definitely love gumbo. I'm a big fan of gumbo now, and I never thought I would ever say that. So here we are. Like if I were to look at a picture of gumbo 5 years ago, I'd be like, no, that's not happening. But I actually love it. Like I'll get it as an appetizer at dinners. And yeah, it's awesome. It's a whole new experience. And that's exactly what I wanted and why I chose to come to New Orleans, was just something new from what I was growing up with at home. And I'm so happy I'm here. It's really an awesome experience.
Well, that's fantastic. And I'm sure Coach will help celebrate at the end of the season with an extra large pot of gumbo for you if things go the way you want them to.
For sure.
And just lastly, take us just very briefly inside that locker room and let us get to know a couple of your teammates a little bit better as well. So pre-game, aux cord, DJ, who's choosing the music in the locker room before you get ready for your games? And secondly, who is the last person on the team that you would hand the aux cord to?
Oh, okay, this is a good one. So last year it was actually our now coach Mari. She had the speaker, she had the aux, she was getting us hyped every pregame. This year I think it'll be a mix between, I think Molly Kehoe, she'll definitely be one to have the aux. I could see Ryan taking the aux. I could see Ryan putting on some good music for us. The last person I would give the aux to would definitely be Claire Turner, however. I just love her so much. Awesome music taste, but not what I want to listen to before a game. So, yeah.
All right, well, there's your challenge, Claire, for the season is to find a way to get back in Irene's good books for music taste. Both of you, Coach Irene, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Super excited to see what the Privateers do this year on the volleyball court, and we'll be watching and cheering for you all the way. So best of luck, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant. That was